Y'all, I don't even know how to explain what is going on right now. Donald Trump wandered on to the roof of the White House. Just wandered on, shouting at reporters, making strange gestures. One gesture that seems a little, can we say, Nazi-ish? And this is the clearest example that there's something going on with Donald Trump. There's something not right with his mind. And whatever was there before is either gone or fading fast. And this is the same man. This hasn't been talked about enough because we're talking about Epstein and everything else. This is the same man who is now sending nuclear submarines to Russia. The person who's wandering onto the White House is doing this.
Put out a statement, and the answer is they are in the region, yeah, where they have to be.
What Steve Witkoff's message will be to the Russians? Is there anything they can do to avoid sanctions at this point?
Yeah, get a deal where people stop getting killed. They had a number that just came out that a tremendous number of Russian soldiers are being killed. And likewise, Ukraine, a lower number, but still thousands and thousands of people. And now we're adding towns where they're being hit by missiles. So it's a lot of people being killed in that ridiculous war. And, you know, we stopped a lot of countries from war, India and Pakistan. We stopped a lot of countries. And we're going to get that one stopped, too. Somehow we're going to get that one stopped. That's a really horrible war. You heard about...
So the way Donald Trump is going to stop a war is by sending nuclear submarines to the Russian region. Does that make you feel safe? Does it make me feel safe? Sending nukes over to a other country that has nukes? Well, I guess it makes sense that this is happening because Donald Trump has lost his mind. Has he ever had his mind? Whatever may be the case, he's lost his mind. Here is just, I don't even know where to go, but here we are. Donald Trump wandering on the roof.
On the roof of the White House, he's taking questions, or he was just a few moments ago. Let's listen in, please.
Looking good, Peter.
Are you going to blow up there? What does that mean?
More ways to spend my money.
Can you give us another hint?
We'll show you. It's just another way to spend my money for the country. Anything I do is financed by me, so you know where it's contributed. Just like my salary is contributed, but nobody ever mentions that.
Imagine if Biden were to wander on the roof, going like this. Do you think we'd hear the end of it? No, of course not. Here's some more. He's talking about nuclear missiles.
Mr. President, what do you want to build? What are you trying to build? Sir, do you approve? You saying more missiles? Are you building missiles? What? Come on, Dad.
Might be missiles.
Did you say missiles?
Taking over all of Gaza, sir.
By the way, do you hear the reporters laughing about this? As if this is just another day? This is part of the problem, is that legacy media is so close to this, they need access. So they have to, in their minds, either rationalize it, pretend like it's normal, or just not report on what's actually happening. That's why independent media is so important. And by the way, if you're here right now, please do hit like, please do subscribe, because it is so important that we build up these networks so that people can get the real information about what's really happening. Because as you can hear here,
What? Come on, Dad.
Might be missiles.
Did you say missiles?
Taking over all of Gaza, sir.
they're not up to the task. Now, that wasn't the only insane thing that happened at the White House this morning. We also have reporting here that Donald Trump is going to make it so that he could ban native-born Chinese Americans from buying farmland. Chinese Americans. These are just Americans. He's trying to ban Americans from being able to buy farms.
More for you. You want to ban Chinese ownership of farmland. How do you stop people buying farmland in a free society like America?
Well, listen, this is a national security issue, Stuart. In 1983, only 2,700 acres was owned by the Chinese. 2,700, that was what, 40 years ago. Today, it's almost 300,000 acres and owned by the Chinese and some of our foreign adversaries around the world. And a lot of that farmland is being purchased around our military bases. So this is a project in coordination with Pete Hegseth, with Kristi Noem, with Pam Bondi. We have to get out in front of this. Can you imagine if an American owned Chinese farmland around the Chinese military? So that would never happen, not in a million years. But in America, we have to protect Americans. We've got to continue this incredible vision by President Trump, and part of that is ensuring that Americans own American farmland.
What about Chinese Americans, Asian Americans, a Chinese person who may have been born in America, native-born Chinese American? Would they be banned from buying farmland?
The Secretary of the Treasury has a committee that the Ag Secretary was just added to when we announced this plan a few weeks ago called CFIUS. It's a committee that looks at foreign investment into America.
By the way, the answer there should have just been no. She should have just said, no, of course we're going to allow Chinese Americans. Why do we have to put anything in front of their names? They're Americans. If you're born here, you're American. Doesn't matter where your parents are from. If you're born here, you're an American. Anyways, she should have just said no, but here she is rationalizing it and not saying they wouldn't.
So before, the ag side of that was never part of the consideration. So listen, there are always going to be exceptions to the broader rule, but we have to change the rule here. But we'll look at that. Obviously, if someone's been...
Oh my God. Okay, and then I'm just going to end with this. Rand Paul floating out the idea that Donald Trump could very well run for a third term. These people want more of this. They want more of this.
I think we're going to discourage good people, successful people from holding office. Part of the bill, I do believe, would forbid the president immediately from buying and selling stocks, and it would exempt him from the divestiture part. Future presidents wouldn't be allowed to own things. So if Donald Trump were the next president, which some say he might run for a third term, but he would be forced to divest everything. He would have to sell all of his possessions. And I think Donald Trump's got a complicated, probably financial empire, and a lot of people just wouldn't want to sell it or get involved with all of that. You also don't want to sell it during a downturn. There's a lot of reasons it would discourage successful people. And I frankly think...
All right, well, Donald Trump can't run for a third term. It's in the Constitution, bitch. Secondly, I kind of want it. So yeah, if billionaires don't want to run for president, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I think there's only 4,000 in the entire world. So if those 4,000 feel like they don't want to divest their businesses because they don't want to serve their country, that's totally fine for me, because there's plenty of people who come from middle class, working class backgrounds that understand the actual struggles of Americans who are better situated to fight for us than any billionaire ever could. So if they don't want to run, fine. Secondly, Donald Trump can't. He can't. Nor should he. I don't think he can. I don't think he's going to be doing much for much longer. Well, thank you so much for watching. As I said, if you liked the video, please hit like. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Bye.